If you're over 55 and you've been using a popular anti-aging cream for a while now, and honestly not seeing the kind of results you hoped for, I want you to stay with me for the next few minutes, because this video is probably going to explain why. Not because the creams don't work at all. Some of them feel genuinely nice, but feeling nice and actually doing something for your skin are two very different things, and the beauty industry has spent decades making sure most people never figure that out. I looked at some of the most popular anti-aging creams sold in the US, the ones you find at CVS, Target, Walmart, and department store counters. And what I found was a consistent pattern. The marketing is impressive, the packaging is beautiful, and the ingredient reality often doesn't match the price tag. This is brand meter world. Every week we cut through the noise on the brands people are actually spending money on: skincare, tech, kitchen products, footwear, and we give you an honest verdict with no brand deals attached to it. Subscribe right now so you catch every one of these breakdowns. Turn on notifications too, because next week's video is going after something most people over 60 are quietly overpaying for, and you won't want to miss it. Now let's get into it. Before the brands, here's the one thing you need to understand, and once you do, every product you look at from now on will make more sense. Most over-the-counter anti-aging creams are classified as cosmetics, not drugs. That means brands are not legally required to prove their products do what they claim. The phrase visibly reduces the appearance of fine lines is not the same as reduces fine lines, and that wording is chosen very deliberately by legal teams. It sounds like a result while technically promising nothing. On top of that, most brands put legitimate ingredients in their formulas at concentrations too low to actually do anything meaningful. The ingredient is on the label, it's just not there in amounts that reach your skin at a useful level. That's how a $90 cream can list niacinamide as an ingredient and still be largely ineffective. For women over 60 specifically, this matters more. Your skin's barrier is thinner, moisture retention is harder, and collagen production has slowed down. You need specific ingredients at effective levels, and this is where most products fail completely. Here's how I evaluated everything on this list: active ingredient levels based on publicly available formula information, price compared to what the formula actually delivers, real user feedback from verified buyers in the 55+ age range, and consistent dermatologist opinion from sources with no brand affiliations. With that said, here are the 8 brands I'd steer clear of. Brand 1. Olay Regenerist Micro Sculpting Cream. Olay is one of the most recognized names in drugstore skincare, and Regenerist is their flagship anti-aging line. So why is it on this list? 2 reasons. First, the fragrance. Olay Regenerist contains added fragrance relatively high in its ingredient list. For younger skin, this is a minor issue. For mature skin, which is thinner, more reactive, and has a compromised barrier, fragrance is a known irritant that can trigger inflammation, redness, and over time actually accelerate the kind of skin damage you're trying to reverse. This isn't an edge case. Dermatologists consistently flag added fragrance as one of the top ingredients to avoid in any product aimed at women over 55. Second, the language. Microsculpting is not a scientific term. It's not a process. It's marketing copy designed to sound clinical without making any claim anyone can challenge. The actual ingredients in this cream, niacinamide and aminopeptides, are legitimate, but the concentrations aren't disclosed, which is a significant red flag. When a brand won't tell you how much of an ingredient is in the product, the answer is almost always not enough. Brand 2. Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair Retinol Cream. Retinol is genuinely one of the best-studied ingredients for aging skin, and Neutrogena built their entire rapid wrinkle repair line around that reputation. The problem is in the dose. Based on what's publicly known about how these formulas are typically structured at this price point, the retinol concentration here sits at the lower end of what's available over the counter. Dermatologists who regularly discuss OTC retinol products note that concentrations under 0.5% produce minimal structural benefit for mature skin. You'd need significantly more than what's in a product like this to see real change over time. The word rapid in the name is also doing a lot of heavy lifting. Retinol doesn't work rapidly. Research shows it takes consistent use over 3 to 6 months to produce measurable collagen changes. That name exists to compete on shelf appeal, not to reflect how the ingredient actually works. And this isn't just a Neutrogena problem. You're going to see this same pattern come up again in the next few brands. Brand 3. L'Oréal Paris Revitalift Triple Power. L'Oréal is one of the most sophisticated marketing companies in the world, and Revitalift is a masterclass in making a mid-tier product feel premium. Here's what most buyers don't know. L'Oréal also owns Lancôme, La Roche-Posay, and several other brands at very different price points. Some of those sister brands are genuinely excellent. Revitalift is not. The issue here is what you could call the prestige by association problem. Revitalift's branding borrows credibility from L'Oréal's luxury divisions without the formulation quality to back it up. Their pro-retinol is actually a retinol precursor, meaning your skin has to convert it into active retinol after you apply it. That conversion process is inefficient, especially in mature skin where cellular turnover is already slower. You're paying for a vitamin A cousin that has to do extra work just to become the ingredient that actually functions. Brand 4. RoC Retinol Correxion line, Smoothing Serum. RoC has been in the retinol space for decades and frequently appears on dermatologist-recommended lists, which sounds impressive until you realize that phrase requires no independent endorsement whatsoever. A brand can conduct its own internal survey and use that language in advertising. The real issue with RoC is stability. Retinol is notoriously unstable. It breaks down when exposed to light and air. RoC's formula has historically come in a jar, which is one of the worst delivery formats for retinol because every time you open it, the product is exposed to the elements. Their better packaged pump versions were quietly reformulated or pulled from several markets without any announcement. What you find on shelves today varies by retailer, and there's no reliable way to know which version you're getting. That inconsistency alone is enough reason to move on when better packaged alternatives exist. We're halfway through the list and I want you to notice something. The problem isn't that these brands use bad ingredients. It's that the ingredients either aren't strong enough, aren't stable enough, or the product is priced like the formula is elite when it simply isn't. Keep that in mind for the next 4. Brand 5. Estée Lauder Advanced Night Repair. This is where the prestige tax becomes most obvious. Advanced Night Repair retails at around $115 for 1 ounce. At that price, you expect elite formulation. What you get is a base of water and glycerin with a small amount of bifidobacterium lysate, a probiotic-derived ingredient that has some evidence for skin barrier support, but not at the level present here. The synchronized recovery complex is proprietary language for a process Estée Lauder won't fully disclose. The original patent for their core technology expired in 2019. What you're paying for today is brand heritage, beautiful packaging, and very effective advertising. The formula itself does not justify triple-digit pricing when fragrance-free, ceramide-rich alternatives at $20 produce comparable barrier support in real-world use. Brand 6. Clinique Smart Clinical MD Multidimensional Age Transformer. Clinique specifically markets this product toward women in the 50-plus age range, which makes the following ingredient all the more frustrating. Alcohol denat, denatured alcohol, TOI, appears in the top half of the ingredient list. In skincare, alcohol denat is used to create a fast-drying, lightweight texture that feels elegant on application. But for mature skin, it's a problem. It disrupts the skin barrier, strips natural lipids, and contributes to moisture loss, the exact condition you're trying to correct when you buy an anti-aging cream. And here's what makes that particularly frustrating. Clinique knew exactly who they were selling to. This wasn't a general product picked up by the wrong audience. They targeted women over 50 and included an ingredient that actively works against mature skin. That's not a small oversight. Brand 7, Thomas Roth Instant FirmX. The word instant is doing enormous work in this product name. And to be fair, it does work instantly. Apply it, and within 60 seconds your skin looks tighter and smoother. That's not chemistry doing the work. That's a silicone film forming on the surface of your skin. Dimethicone and related silicones create a temporary optical smoothing effect that looks great in photos and feels impressive in the moment. When you wash your face that night, the effect is completely gone. There is no cumulative benefit, no collagen stimulation, no cellular repair, nothing working below the surface. You're buying a temporary cosmetic film at a premium price and labeling it anti-aging treatment. The before and after photos you see in their advertising are almost certainly taken within that same 60-second window. Brand 8. StriVectin-SD Advanced Intensive Concentrate. StriVectin has an interesting origin story. It was originally developed and sold as a stretch mark cream. A viral marketing moment in the early 2000s claimed it worked better than Botox, and the brand quickly repositioned itself as a luxury anti-aging line. The price point roughly doubled. The formulation did not change significantly. The core ingredient is NIA-114, a form of niacinamide that StriVectin trademarked. Niacinamide itself is a legitimate, well-researched ingredient, but trademarking a delivery format doesn't make it clinically superior to standard niacinamide, and independent research has not validated StriVectin's proprietary claims. You're paying a significant markup for a stretch mark cream in luxury anti-aging packaging. The brand's own history tells you everything you need to know about the product strategy. That's all 8, and I want to pause here for a moment because I know some of these might be products you've been using for years. I'm not saying they've harmed you, I'm saying they probably haven't done what you were paying for them to do. That's worth knowing, and it's worth acting on. Before we get to the 3, I do recommend, if you're finding this useful, subscribe right now. I put out a new brand breakdown every single week, and the algorithm only reliably shows new videos to people who are subscribed. One tap and you won't miss it. Now, here's what actually works. Now, before I give you the 3 recommendations, I want to be upfront about something. Some of you are watching this and thinking, how do I know this person actually did real research and isn't just another voice on the internet with opinions? That's a completely fair question, and I'd rather you ask it than take this at face value. Everything in this video is based on publicly available ingredient information, published dermatological research, and real consumer feedback, not paid reviews, not brand press releases. I'm not a licensed dermatologist. But I've done the work of reading what dermatologists say when they're not affiliated with a brand, and the patterns across independent sources are consistent. I'll also say this clearly. The 3 products I'm about to recommend are not miracle solutions. Skincare takes time. Even the best products take 6 to 12 weeks before you see a real difference, and results vary from person to person. What I can tell you is that these 3 options contain the right ingredients at levels that are actually designed to reach your skin, and none of them will cost you $100 for the privilege. 1. CeraVe Skin Renewing Night Cream. CeraVe is the rare case of a drugstore brand that earns consistent, unprompted recommendation from independent dermatologists, not because of advertising spend, but because the formula is genuinely built around skin biology. The Skin Renewing Night Cream contains 3 essential ceramides at concentrations that support real barrier repair. For women over 60, this is foundational. When your skin barrier is compromised, nothing else you apply works as effectively as it should. Ceramides are the structural lipids your skin barrier is built from, and replacing them topically has measurable evidence behind it. The formula also includes niacinamide at an effective level, hyaluronic acid for hydration, and peptides for collagen support. Critically, it is fragrance-free, which, as we covered earlier, matters more than most people realize for mature skin. The price is $18 to $22 depending on where you buy it. The jar format is a minor downside. Using a clean spatula rather than your fingers helps avoid contamination over time. But at this price and with this formulation, it remains one of the best value anti-aging options available without a prescription. It won't transform your skin overnight, but used consistently, it gives your skin barrier what it actually needs. 2. Generic Tretinoin, prescription retinoids. I know this one feels different from everything else on the list because it requires a prescription, but I'd be leaving out the most important information in this entire video if I skipped it. Tretinoin is the prescription strength form of retinol, and it is the most thoroughly researched topical anti-aging treatment that exists. Decades of peer-reviewed clinical studies confirm it stimulates collagen production, increases cell turnover, and produces real measurable improvement in fine lines, skin texture, and pigmentation over time. This isn't marketing language, it's what the actual data shows consistently across independent research. Here's the part that surprises most people. Getting a prescription used to mean booking a dermatology appointment, waiting weeks, and paying for an office visit. That's largely changed. There are now licensed telehealth services in the US where you fill out a health history form, consult with a real dermatologist online, and receive a prescription sent directly to your pharmacy, often for under $30 a month, medication included. It does come with an adjustment period. The first few weeks can bring some dryness and flaking, especially if you start at a stronger concentration. Dermatologists typically recommend starting at 0.025% for mature or sensitive skin, applying it every 2 to 3 nights, and giving your skin at least 8 to 12 weeks before deciding whether it's working. This is not a quick fix, and it's not for everyone. But if you're serious about results and you've been spending $60, $80, $100 on creams that don't deliver, this conversation with a doctor is worth having. 3. La Roche-Posay Redermic R Anti-Aging Retinol Serum. For those who want the strongest available OTC retinol without a prescription, La Roche-Posay Redermic R is the benchmark. What separates it from the Neutrogena and RoC products we covered earlier is how the retinol is stabilized. The retinol in this formula is encapsulated, protected inside microscopic particles that shield it from light and air degradation while it sits in your bathroom, and release it gradually once it's on your skin. This is a recognized improvement in retinol delivery that cosmetic chemists consistently acknowledge as superior to standard retinol in jar or open cream formats. The concentration is still limited by what's allowed over the counter, but it's at the upper range of what's available without a prescription. La Roche-Posay was also specifically designed for sensitive and reactive skin. Their formulas are fragrance-free and tested for tolerability. For mature skin that may not respond well to stronger formulations right away, this is a practical and effective starting point. It retails at $35 to $42, is widely available at Walmart, Target, and most drugstores, and the pump packaging keeps the formula protected from start to finish. It's not perfect, no OTC product is more, but in this category, nothing currently beats it on the combination of stability, concentration, and tolerability for older skin. Before you go, I want to leave you with one thing, not a long list. Just one idea you can take into every skincare aisle from this point forward. Picture yourself holding a cream. The front of the jar says something like Advanced Age Renewal Complex or Triactive Peptide Technology. It sounds impressive. But when you flip it over and look at the ingredient list, you're working hard to find anything recognizable, and nothing tells you how much of any ingredient is actually in there. That's the tell. Brands that are confident in their formula put the active ingredients front and center at concentrations they're willing to disclose. When a brand hides behind proprietary language and aspirational names, it's usually because the formula isn't the selling point. The packaging is. Flip the jar, find the ingredient first, then decide if the price makes sense. That's the whole system. Once you start doing it, you can't stop, and you'll save yourself real money. If something in this video surprised you, or if it confirmed something you already suspected about a product you've been using, drop it in the comments below. I read them, and honestly, some of the best follow-up topics come from what people share down there. Brand Meter World is here every week. New breakdown, new category, same honest approach. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.